What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? Good morning. How the hell are you today? Another fantastic opportunity is in the air. Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Can you smell it? Can you smell what the Rob is cooking? Let's get into it, guys. Let's see what is going on out there this morning. There's a lot of news to get into. Can we see this afternoon turn around as we do have the FOMC minutes coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central this afternoon? What will these minutes imply and how will they affect the markets? It's going to be an interesting afternoon, guys. High volatility. I hope you're ready. What do we got? Gamma Goddess. There she is, the one and only. Happy Wednesday, fam. Let's get this money. Absolutely. Shaun of the Living. Why is my particular altcoin going down today? Smart ass. All right. So that's it for the super chats. Let's get into the chat. See what's going on out there, guys. Real quick, Bitcoin trying to break out of this golden pocket we have here. We've rejected off the top end of it at 114,000. Making another run at it, guys. Can we break above? We've got this double bottom playing out perfectly here, in my opinion. Here's the thing, guys. The sentiment in the market is trash right now. It is trash, okay? Let's hang on. Let's have a look at the fear and greed index, shall we? We're in it. That's not the right one. There's so many different fear and greed indexes here. An average of about that's stock market. No, okay, that's why. So I'm looking for the Bitcoin fear and greed. Uno momento. Let's see what the general sentiment is in the market. Okay, it's going into the pooper, guys. It's going into the pooper right now, the sentiment, all right? And I got a piece that I'm going to cover that shows you that as well. I thought I had an article about it, but I guess not. But I do have something to show you on it. Anyway, the fear and greed slowly slipping into the pooper. We're at a 44. We're still in the neutral, but sliding our way down towards that. Now, if we go over and we have a look also, compare that. So that shows us the sentiment, right? That shows us that people are being bearish. The sentiment in the market is that people are not positive right now. And I'll show you something else here that shows us the same thing, that kind of compounds that. If I can find it here. I had it queued up. I don't know why. Can't find it now. The searches for altcoin season are plummeting. They are plummeting, okay? And that shows us that the sentiment is also trash. Hang on, I'm going to find it here. Here it is. I got it. Okay, so the fear and greed is slipping into fear. And if you look, altcoin season searches on Google Trends is down, plummeting down. Look at that drop off for altcoin season, right? Now, what does that mean? Does that mean altcoin season's not coming? Does that mean we should pack it in and we should leave and, we should be bearish? No, actually the opposite, right? When you see this kind of thing happen, usually it means that the market is about to take everybody by surprise. It's about to catch everyone off guard, right? And I have been telling you guys that usually when the sentiment is in the pooper, the market rebounds and pumps to the upside because no one's expecting it. If everyone was expecting the market to pump and it pumped, it wouldn't make sense. And the same thing to the downside, right? It wouldn't be catching so many people off kilter, right? Let's go have a look at the liquidation levels too. What's the leverage trading look like right now? Well, in the daily time frame, if we get back up to 116, was a 2.34 billion will get liquidated. But if we drop to 110,500, 1.85. So on the daily time frame, the shorts stand a higher risk of getting liquidated here. You go to the weekly, look at the shorts. Ooh, man. If Bitcoin made its way back up to 123,000, $11.5 billion worth of shorts would get liquidated. Look at, there's not much longs at all. Not much longs to get liquidated at all on the weekly time frame. But let's go to the monthly. Yeah, look at the risk on that, guys. We get back to 125, 12 billion liquidated. We drop to 108. Which we're not going that far. We'll go back to 110. Only 4.5 billion gets liquidated. Guys, the shorts are at a very high risk right now. Very high risk, in my opinion, on all time frames, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frame. Shorts do stand the risk of getting liquidated, which could cause a short squeeze, which could shoot Bitcoin to the upside. Maybe at least back up to around $117,000. That would flush out 117, almost $4 billion. So don't be surprised to see a little bit of a short squeeze take place here, guys. There's not much long positions to get liquidated here, but the shorts are piling up like massive right now. And that is the last time, like that's the worst time to be putting in a short, is when the shorts have piled up this much, right? You do not want to be in a short position like that. This is market makers are seeing this and they're going after it, man. They're going after it big time. Those exchanges, they're going to be cashing in on those short positions. Be careful, guys. Be careful. John, blessings, my friend. I'm out fishing, so I smash the like button. Blessings, Rob. We'll watch when I am home. There you go. There you go. Hope you catch some big ones. Ty, good to see you, buddy. Hit the like buttons. Quentin's in the house. What's going on, man? Waiting on Fart Powell to issue some bullish news this week. Let's send. Absolutely. Brian, good to see you, buddy. John, good morning, crypto family. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying DC Opportunity. God bless you all. Absolutely. Lions Den, back from the Midwest. DCA and ready to rock. There you go. That's what I like to hear, guys. Good morning, weirdos. KD, Motivation Daily. Rob, how are you doing today? I am still sick as a dog. Like and subscribe. Join the Patreon with the gem yesterday. We could easily pay for your membership for a year. Absolutely. Some people won't get it, though. Some people just don't get it, right? Jake the Snake, today we close orange. Nice. Guy, good morning, crypto fam. Young Elder, XPR, let's get it. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. What do we have here? We have 186 people watching. We have 68 likes. First goal, guys. Let's get to 100 likes. First goal is 100 likes. Let's get it done. You can do it. Put your back into it. Let's go. Okay. William, good to see you, buddy. Grace Aiken, good morning, everyone. It's learn about some crypto. Let's learn about some crypto. There you go. Hope everyone's doing well. Don't panic. Just DCA. There you go. H Barbarina in the house. Toshi and Turbo content, please. Absolutely. I took a poll, and most people do not want to see Turbo content, but maybe we'll make a little bit, and we will. Toshi content. We'll make a little bit, and we'll see what the engagement looks like. Spuds, good to see you, buddy. Jose, hey Rob, do you think this is going to be the shortest bull run compared to others? Nope, I don't. Good afternoon, fellow weirdos. Dennis in the house. Isaac, my dude, what's up, buddy? First Pokemon of the day. Hope all is well. Absolutely. Go fast. Win Lambo. Let's get it. Ditto. What's going on, man? Second Pokemon of the day. Hey, Rob, another great morning for crypto. Absolutely. It is a great day to be in crypto, my friends. A great day. Make no mistake about it. Mario, it's me, Mario. Join the party here with the crypto future and all the weirdos. Absolutely. Shane, When we feel like giving in and giving up is usually when we're close to that breakthrough. Absolutely. We're closer up. Max Payne. Exactly. Exactly. Wipe your feet at the entrance to the house and smash the like buttons. Surf Armory. Buenos dias, Rob. And Patreon family from Mexico. Been watching, learning, and DCAing on holidays here. Nice. There you go. Awesome. XPR and XDB. That's what I like to see, man. OG. Sebastian Mullert. You're an orchestra in the cosmos. Rob, don't you need some sleep, man? Man, you have no idea. I did not get any sleep at all last night because I'm sick. Like, toss and turn the whole night. Ryan, what's up, Big Rob? Crypto freaks. I'm feeling a move coming. Let's go. Absolutely. Motives in the house. BTC just hit 1 point. Just went up 1.60. Yeah, we're almost back at. Look at that. We're almost back at 114K. It's the crypto future live stream pump in effect, my friends. Paul, good to see you, buddy. Volumes flowing into XCN. Yes, it's down 8.5% on the day though, but it pumped pretty hard yesterday. So all shorts are getting wrecked. I wouldn't be wearing shorts if I were you. Hello, CJ, what's going on? Beebs, my guy, what's up, buddy? Crypto JPEG, I have to use the bathroom. Are we there yet? Wise Tron, what's going on, man? EI Rick, good morning, crypto weirdos. OG, we need Simon the Cat's content. Penny Packer, a lot of Patreon is in Moonwell and Pith. I think we'd appreciate more coverage on those. Yeah, I could make some coverage on those, see if anyone watches them. Here's the thing, guys. I make content based on your reactions. That's what you have to understand. I don't talk about generally. I don't cover the projects and stuff. There's a lot of projects that I love that I never talk about on the page, on the YouTube channel, because you guys don't watch the videos. I could make a glimmer moonbeam video. Like 20 people would watch it, right? So you have to understand that the content that I make, generally the research that I do is based on the feedback that you give me, right? And you give me that feedback by clicking the like button, by commenting on videos, and by watching them, right? So the videos that I get views on, I get likes on, and I get comments on, I will double up on that content because you're telling me through the algorithm that that's what you want to see. And stuff that you don't want to see, like I used to try to make XRP content because I like XRP too, but nobody watches them. Nobody watches the XRP content. So I stopped making XRP videos, right? Because it takes a lot of time to do the research, make a video, do it all together. For 20 people to watch the video, it's like, Joy, what's going on? Good to see you. Jack Sparrow. I don't know how people are panicking. My bags keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the longer it takes, the bigger the bags we get. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Ray, good to see you, buddy. Says hit that like button. I'm not touching grass, but planting trees today. Still listening to Rob as usual, though. That's what I like to hear. CJ, when do your lives take place daily? I'm usually live 9:30 a.m. Central, like right now, and I usually bounce between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. Central as well. I think I'm just going to do the 1 p.m. Central slot because, like today, we'll do 1 p.m. Central. Because usually people are not showing up at the 2 p.m., but they always show up at the 1 p.m. So we'll say 9:30 a.m. Central and 1 o'clock p.m. Central as well. Daily, except for Saturdays and Sundays, there's no first thing in the morning live stream. Serious question: what really is there to research about meme coins? We don't need that turbo. Chainlink's been making big moves this past week. Yes, it has. Absolutely. What's up, Rob? Andrew's in the house. We're in the end game now. There you go. Blessings to you, Rob. Fridge, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Beebs, Rob, was it last week that Coinbase believes we are going to see a bullish September? Yes. That was last week. The next 3 to 4 weeks should be a full G-force according to the M2 money supply. Let's go. William, there is zero buzz where I live about crypto back in 2021. There was people at my work talking about, yeah, we're not there yet. Retail's not there yet. It's 10 a.m. Central here. Yeah, you're an hour behind me. Oh no, yeah, it's 10:20 a.m. Central right now. Yeah, where I am anyway. All right, let's actually go look at the M2 money supply. Let's go have a looky-loo at that. We haven't looked at that in a couple days. Okay, what were we last? Okay, so we're on Bitcoin here. M2 is still messing around, right? All right. Excuse me. Yeah, we're still below resistance here, as you can see. We got to break above that trend line on the M2, guys. Right? You got to break above that trend line, or else the M2 is not going to be doing nothing. It will break above it, though. All we're doing is putting in lower highs right now, so just wait and be patient. It's coming. It's coming. It's taken another little move to the upside here today, slightly, so that's good. Life on Mars, get well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Andrew says, smash the like button. Best crypto YouTube channel you'll find. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the love. So, yeah, the M2 still waiting for the breakout on the M2, guys. It's looking good, though. We keep smashing that resistance level. The break to the upside is going to be absolutely glorious. Going to be glorious. Let's go look at the others. So the others is the crypto market cap excluding the top 10, right? So what are we doing on the others? We're just kind of putting in higher highs. We've taken another leg up here today. Just putting in those higher lows and higher highs right now on the others, as you can see. Bullish momentum, guys. A break to the upside coming. You'll love to see that. Let's go look at the BTC dominance. What's going on there today? Just playing with resistance here, man. Man, bounced above resistance again, and then back below. 59.57 right now. We're waiting for that to have a complete collapse, right? It'll come. It'll come. Total 2. Sitting below resistance. Sitting below resistance. Got to make that leg up with some conviction. We're putting in higher highs here as well. I mean, you could theorize we're putting in another bull flag, right? Really. We kind of are. Right? So we'll see what happens, but looking bullish either way, guys. Everything looks bullish AF, in my opinion. All right, let's get into some of the news. We haven't really touched on any of the news yet. Let's get into it. We're caught up in the chat. Okay. So, before we get into the news, however, as we always do, a quick shout out and thank you to the channel sponsor, Decent Biometric Wallet. Keeping the lights on, guys. Use our link down below. Get a phenomenal 2-for-1 deal on the biometric wallet today. Guys, you can swap, take profits, and even stake your crypto right on your Decent wallet without it ever leaving your self-custody. So check it out today, guys. Check it out today. All right, let's get into some of the news. What's going on out there? Real quick, we got 218 people watching. We have 104 likes. Nice. Let's push our luck, guys. Let's see if we can push for 150. Let's get up to 150. So Trump requests Federal Reserve's Lisa Cook resign. Donald Trump has demanded the immediate resignation of Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, alleging involvement in mortgage fraud amid concerns over current monetary policies. The call for resignation may heighten tensions within financial markets. Though initial cryptocurrency and DeFi sector responses remain stable and unaffected by potential policy changes, Donald Trump has called for federal Governor Lisa Cook's immediate resignation, citing alleged mortgage fraud. The request comes amid ongoing scrutiny of Federal Reserve policies, which Trump has frequently criticized. Trump calls for Cook's immediate resignation amid stock market news. Trump, known for his opposing current Fed directions, particularly targeted newly appointed Cook, who has yet to publicly respond. No official statement from regulatory bodies or direct quotes from Trump regarding this call have resurfaced at present. Crypto market shows no immediate response to the news, with BTC and Ethereum stable. Past similar events only cause slight short-term volatility in traditional markets, with no extended impact on cryptocurrencies historically observed. Given historical trends, Fed tension typically affects risk assets, but no regulatory or financial changes have been noted. Market stability remains as major DeFi assets report unusual activity levels during this period. Fed governor controversies in prior instances led to moderate volatility in U.S. financial assets, but minor effects on crypto. Past occurrences mirror current market reactions, showing transient impacts unless broader instability issues. So basically, it's not really affecting the markets right now in any way, shape, or form. Sounds like Lisa's cooked. Beebs bringing that dad joke. Absolutely. Lisa is cooked. All right. What else do we have? A lot of controversy surfacing around strategy, guys. A lot of controversy. MicroStrategy faces breakdown as bulls lose grip. Is $300 the next stop? MicroStrategy is flashing a bearish warning as a classic head and shoulders setup takes shape. With the neckline broken, traders now eye Fibonacci levels that hint at sharper losses, probably near $300. MicroStrategy stock has completed a textbook head and shoulders formation, a technical setup that often signals trend reversals. The left shoulder developed after a brief uptrend where the price consolidated before losing steam. A sharp rally formed the head, with MicroStrategy peaking near $457. After that surge, momentum faded. The right shoulder emerged around $417. It failed recovery attempt that couldn't match the prior high. The neckline at $360 acted as support, though several retests, but once broken, the bearish setup activated. The breach shifted sentiment, drawing focus towards downside price targets. Fibonacci retracements from $457 peak to the $360 neckline add clarity to the trend. Resistance met at $417, aligned with the right shoulder. We'll go have a look over at the chart, guys, instead of walking you through it. The short-term pressure builds. The hourly chart reflects MicroStrategy's short to medium-term price action, showing weakness after the neckline breach. Volume has not shown strong accumulation, suggesting buyers remain cautious. Let's go have a look at strategy. Let's go have a look at their chart. Oh yeah. I can see it. Yeah, we broke down past the 200 as well. Right? You got your boop, boop, boop. And down we go. Is $300 the target? Apparently. So listen, if you do get down around this $300 mark on strategy, it might be a prime DCA opportunity. If you're interested in picking up some strategy stock, it should hold support there fairly strong. But that would be the drop from the head and shoulders. You got your neckline right here. Yeah, bearish. Mark, hello, Rob, mods and chat. Laundry day for me on a holiday. No wife, no kids, no shepherd dog touching grass. There you go, man. Sorry for my Dutch. Ain't no problem. If you have a good heart, if you have a good heart, press the like button for Rob. Yeah, make sure you're into like 240 people watching, 112 likes, guys. Let's get them up. Let's get them going. We can do it. Let's go. Let's get to 150. So strategy's looking bearish. All right, what else do we have going on? Let's segue over to Squawk Box and see what's happening over there. All right, so very constructive. So we're looking at Apple's Apple long-term, despite near-term headwinds, they feel optimistic. Check it out.
Apple shares up about 11% in August. There's been some recent headlines about expanding iPhone production in India, along with the company's commitment to boost manufacturing here in the U.S. Joining us now with more on Apple, Wamsi Mohan, Bank of America securities analyst. Wamsi, the stock looked like it was coming out of the doldrums in August after what you don't typically hear about Apple, up 2% over the past year. It's been dead money. No one's really done well. And it's down year to date. The only other Mag 7 stock is Tesla, as you point out. It has been as high as 260. Your target for it is only 250. So you're bullish, but you're not pounding the table, really.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. We think Apple shares are pretty attractively valued. I think that there are some wall of worries that Apple shares still have to climb. And when you look at sort of the setup here, we had tariffs that were a huge headwind to the company. There were the whole Google payment, which is still an overhang on the stock. And then lastly, as you think about the AI narrative on the stock, these are the three things that have kept our price target a little bit more tighter in this current environment relative to what it could have been in a very bullish scenario. So when we step back and look at those three things, I think the tariff issue is more or less turning out to be more of a non-issue at the moment. So that means there's another maybe 1.1 billion incremental of cost headwind that goes away. The Google tax issue is still something that news is fairly imminent there. The company still has to contend with that. Where the outcomes are, I think it reflects probably more on the multiple than earnings, given what we know today. But that is still a TBD. And if that overhang were to go away, I think we could be a lot more constructive on the shares. And the last thing is around AI. And on AI, I think that Apple, we've said consistently, will be a winner on AI at the edge. It is taking longer than I think most people anticipated. There was a botched rollout of AI. And since then, the company has been investing a lot more time and energy and money, obviously, into driving an AI-enabled phone, which I think will also drive upside 2 years out from here, right? So as we put all those things together, I just think that the story here hinges a lot more on lower volatility in volatile times, driven by services and services gross profit becoming a much larger piece of the mix. So we're very constructive longer term, but in the near term, there are some headwinds that we acknowledge we do have to get over.
The services contribute more to gross profit now than iPhone. Is that permanent or depending on iPhone cycles?
It is. That's a good question, Joe. I think that we are heading into potentially an era where AI and the foldable form factor both intersect in the fall of 2026. If that were to happen, you probably get a pretty strong iPhone cycle. So transitorily, you could get a quarter or so where iPhone gross profits could exceed services. Now, that said, when I think about services, you've got about a 1.2 billion install base of iPhones. Only 300 million subs are actually paying anything to Apple at the moment. So they have a long way to go in increasing penetration there. Of those 300 million, only 30 million are actually contributing the overwhelming majority of that services revenue. So when you just think about the opportunity set here, you've got 30 million subs on 1.2 billion install base that has significant amount of room to grow, increasing penetration within subs, while the install base itself is growing, and then you have pricing power on top of that. So double-digit services growth, we believe very strongly in that for the foreseeable future, and we think the gross margins at 75% are going to dominate everything else, and very soon exceed even product gross profit over the next 5 years. So the volatility in the stock is just going away. Like when you throw a lot of adverse news on the product side at the company, the magnitude of what the earnings shortfall could be is limited to about 10%. So that's incredible for a company of this size and scope. And so we think that the multiple on this name should re-rate higher as these gross profits become such a more important key part of the story.
Forever with Apple, there's always a discussion of the law of large numbers. I can remember having it 10, 15 years ago, and like how much higher can it go? And it used to be about $1 trillion market cap. Is that really possible? We're back to talking about that, though. I mean, how much the law of large numbers applies again, doesn't it? It's almost $4 trillion. When it was at its high, what was the market cap for Apple, Wamsi?
Yeah, it was close. It was in the high threes, and I think that when you step back and look at sort of where this stock can go, I think the way we have to look at it is from a two perspectives. One is the install base continuing to grow, and where can that go? And I think that first point, right, like emerging markets, which have really not been a huge part of this install-based growth story, are going to be the next leg of install-based growth. And the reason that's happening is because in the emerging markets, these have generally been cash-based economies, and they're moving more and more to credit-based economies, which means it's becoming a lot more affordable now to buy an iPhone in a lot of these emerging markets. And that's what the next generation wants. Everyone wants an iPhone. And so you still have this brand value in emerging markets that is yet to be monetized. And I think that that's a huge deal. So you really have a big step up that's coming in the install base over time. And just the other point around services, when you think about monetization and penetration of that install base, there is significant room. We're only 30 million penetrated on a 1.3 billion, which is growing. So you have ample room to monetize that too. So the growth can go on for a very long period of time here.
That is, that's incredible. You're going to see iPhones everywhere in the world, and in places where some of the lesser developed countries where you'll be surprised to see people on their phone. It's coming and it's happening. And the infrastructure is ready to go in a lot of those places too. The towers and everything you need for connectivity. I guess it's all happening.
That's right, Joe. I think that real time you walk into, like, and we go to Asia every year multiple times to do our checks in supply chain, and you just see the rate and pace at which things are evolving over there. It's fairly incredible, and the usage metrics. Everyone has smartphone.
Big news for Apple, guys. Things are looking optimistic. Now, this is important news that's happening on Friday, guys. Again, could rock markets. We got a couple super chats. Big Kev, what's up, buddy? In the 90s, the Backstreet Boys sent a message that is relevant to today's markets. Stop playing games with my heart. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Ramona, there she is. Good morning, Ramona. Good to see our very own crypto mom in the house. JD Beats says, been struggling to get on the new call schedule due to work. Hopefully soon, watching your videos, maybe on a weekend or something, right? Euphoria is eating the content up. North America is waking up. There you go. Hugo says, Ramona, good morning. Can you please tell Rob to DCA on bed rest and chicken soup today? He won't listen to me. Fair enough. Rug pull. Babe, speaking of Toshi, up 9%. When retail hops on, you can see the market shift on coffee breaks worldwide. There you go. Absolutely. Real quick, before we actually get into this article, let's go look at the ZBEC chart, because ZBEC is actually breaking out right now. Breaking out of this falling wedge structure, guys. So, looking good so far. Will we fall back down inside here? We got about... what do we got? About 8 hours and 20 minutes left of this daily candle. So can we close above and confirm the breakout before moving higher? ZBEC looking good either way. Breakout of the falling wedge pattern. Very, very bullish stuff, guys. You'll love to see that. You'll love to see it. Okay, what else do we have? Bank of Japan Governor Ueda heads to Fed Jackson Hole's meeting. The Bank of Japan governor, we're going to call him Ueda because I probably butchered it, will attend the Federal Reserve's Jackson Hole Symposium in Wyoming, joining global monetary leaders to discuss policy dynamics and potential September rate cuts. The event's outcome could influence key asset markets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, with implications for global markets, especially if rate cut signals emerge. The upcoming Jackson Hole Symposium will see Bank of Japan Governor Ueda attend alongside global central bank leaders in Wyoming. This annual event is pivotal for monetary policy dynamics, discussions among market participants, and central bank leaders. Governor Ueda of the Bank of Japan plays a key role, having been in charge since April of 2023. No formal remarks have been published regarding his agenda for the 2025 meeting. The symposium's outcome often influences global financial markets, with anticipated effects on assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Investors closely watch the event for signals of rate adjustments as seen in the past. Changes in interest rates may affect cryptocurrency valuations, such as the Japanese yen and the US dollar. The market is sensitive to any signal of a shift in monetary policy impacting various sectors worldwide. The anticipation around Jackson Hole has led to increased market interest, but no extraordinary on-chain activities have been recorded. Investors await further insights to assess the real market impacts after the discussion concludes. Historical trends show that interest rate guidance from this event has impacted crypto markets' volatility, especially in leveraged derivatives. As these insights unfold, the market adjusts based on perceived dovish or hawkish moves by central banks. Guys, not a good week to be using leverage trading, in my opinion. Don't be a fool. Too hard is true. All right. What else do we got? We're going to segue back over to Squawk Box. Meredith, what's up, buddy? My guy. How did shopping go with the wife yesterday? I got a new sleeping, comforter, whatever you want to call them. So that's good. But okay. Mark, try Google Zinc and immune systems, Rob. Yeah, I have a very poor immune system. So, due to medical condition. Expect a lot of volatility around inflation over the next 6 to 9 months. What the heck?
Tell us what she is seeing in the markets is Megan Horniman, Chief Investment Officer at Verdance Capital Advisors. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
We could talk about some of these earnings, or we could talk about what you think Jay Powell is going to do on Friday and how important ultimately that's going to be to whatever you think is happening around us.
Yeah, I think we'll stick with Powell just because the earnings are always important, but again, backward looking. So let's focus on Powell because he's the one who can really move the markets and give us some insight into what might happen in September. Personally, I don't think that Powell's going to anything concrete about what he may be doing in September. I think it's going to be a lot of the same. I think he's going to continue to say we're data dependent. And I know people are really tired of hearing that data dependent, but I think that you're going to hear him say there still is pressures on inflation. The labor market's weakening. They do have flexibility at some point this year to cut rates, and they plan on doing that. But I think the timing and magnitude, he's going to try and temper some of those expectations.
So you think we're going to hear not? So, well, that's an interesting thought that he's not going to do anything in September. Is that what you're saying?
I think that there still is. I do not believe in the futures market where it's pricing in that 80 to 90% chance that they're going to be able to cut rates in September. The reason being is there still is a lot of information between now and then the Fed's going to get. So the 85% or 80% probability we have today, that could very quickly change as soon as we get the next inflation report. It can change after we get the next employment report. So I'm still on this data dependent path as well. I don't think the Fed, and I know I'm kind of a contrarian here in this view, what is the rush? We still have other meetings this year, and we still don't know what those tariffs that went into place starting August 1st, those negotiating tariffs, what that's going to filter to in inflation. And I know there's a lot of optimism around the inflation data we got last week. I personally was on vacation last week, and when you read some of those details in those reports, it's not as as great as everybody thinks it is. And I really hope that the Fed is taking a look at that, because if they come in and they cut rates, or they come in this week and they come with a really dovish tone into how they're going to pursue monetary policy going forward, you're going to see these markets shoot right back up again, and this vicious circle of inflation come right back again. It's something I don't think they want to see.
So the thing that I can't figure out is whether you think that Jay Powell ultimately is going to be worried about inflation as a function of tariffs, or is going to be more concerned about the employment picture.
I think at this point, he's going to be, I think at this point, he should be more concerned about inflation. What he will be more concerned about, though, is inflation. Employment, the employment report, because we have seen some cracks there. They've been widening throughout this year. And that's been what I think the Fed's going to have to really take into consideration. I don't want them to ignore the fact that inflation is still here. Inflation in the sticky areas that he's told us about for the past couple years is a problem, whether it's services. We still have some in the housing perspective. I think these are the things he's got to remember that he does not have control over. So it's that very fine line. I think you'll hear him and Jackson Hole talk about the labor market. I think that when it comes to the September meeting itself, he's going to focus on what's the furthest away from his mandate. Right now, I think the risks for inflation are higher.
In terms, though, of that balance, do you believe that the long-term situation in terms of the inflation picture is a one-off, as the president and the administration has talked about, or do you think it's something that rolls for a very long time?
I don't think it's a long term. So, trying to decide what that long term really is. I think over the next 6 to 9 months, it's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of volatility around inflation. We don't have all of the trade deals completely done yet. And the ones that we got in August, what we saw from April, that 10% baseline tariff, we didn't see that start to show up in the data until really, June and July. So if we now take a look at the August ones, which the majority of these are higher than that baseline tariff, think about when that's going to come through. That'll come through maybe in that September CPI, which we really won't get until October. So you're looking at the fourth quarter being a really volatile period for what the true inflation picture is going forward.
Just give me my altcoin season, and you can have the rest, right? Just give me my altcoin season. Candyman, I renamed my toilet Jim instead of John. People are really impressed when I tell them I go to the gym every morning. Nice. Well done, brother. You're going to make me cough. Crypto JPEG. Hey, Rob, could you give us kind of a safe price guess on our new gem? It's literally in the title of the video, right? You see how sometimes I can get frustrated? I literally answered that question. I've been asked it like 27 times in the past 24 hours. I literally put it in the title of the video, and people are still asking me the question. I'm like, what do I have to say? Altcoin season won't start until you're feeling better, Rob. Waiting on you, brother. Nice. Man needs his own bowl. Nice. From crackdown to clarity, SEC adopts Trump's crypto roadmap. The United States is signaling a decisive shift in how it approaches cryptocurrency regulations. After years of uncertainty, the U.S. is moving towards clearer, rule-based framework designed to keep innovation onshore. Connecting with the concept, the U.S. SEC has aligned with crypto regulation strategy with President's digital asset plan. The SEC chair, Paul Atkins, confirmed that the agency will adopt the rule-based framework instead of leading with enforcement actions like Gary Gensler was doing, thus aligning with a roadmap released by the President's Digital Asset Working Group in July. The SEC will now build on structured regulatory regime that facilitates crypto businesses' development in the United States. The new policy replaces the earlier approach that drove many projects overseas due to unclear enforcement risks. Former chair Gary Gensler maintained that most tokens were securities, triggering broad compliance demands. while Atkins argued that classification depends more on the sale and packaging of the tokens. To support innovation, the SEC will introduce a safe harbor provisions and tailored exemptions for digital assets. This updated framework will provide upcoming projects sufficient time and development without immediate legal burdens, thus reducing barriers while maintaining essential controls. Can you imagine being Gary Gensler? Going down in history as the man who held back innovation in the United States for like 4 years, right? Going down as a laughing stock. The next chair that comes in after you literally reverses everything you've done and does the exact opposite and moves the department in a completely opposite direction that you were moving in. How do you go home at night and look your wife and children in the eyes as a man? I don't understand. Like, Gary Gensler will go down in history as the biggest joke in government, in my opinion. So, bureaucrat, right, who overstepped. Atkins announced the formation of the President's Digital Asset Group during the Wyoming Blockchain Symposium, stating that the primary task is to implement the working group's policy roadmap across SEC activities. This initiative acts as a key pillar in Trump's broader digital asset agenda. The group will match the efforts of Congress, the White House, and the federal regulators to have unified policymaking and government continuity. So Gary Gensler always did the opposite of what Congress wanted him to do. He would never show up. He would never come in. And when he did, it was all, it was garbage. It was a joke. The government's continuity and approach should avoid fractured regulations that may hamper competitiveness. The collaboration is also aimed at ensuring global parity alignments as the regulation of digital assets matures. Someone won 75 million in my city Lottomax. Nice. There you go. By focusing on constructive rulemaking, the group plans to reduce uncertainty and promote legal clarity, thus creating new disclosure requirements suited for crypto projects without overburdening developers. These rules will enhance transparency while maintaining technical flexibility. This policy shift will likely reawaken domestic cryptocurrency operations that will have been stagnated by the enforcement-focused Gensler monitoring. Further, the regulation change is backed by entrepreneurs and venture companies such as Andreessen Horowitz and the DeFi Education Fund. They contend that the introduction of more explicit regulations on digital assets will spur U.S.-based project launches. Nice. The SEC intends to provide pathways for compliant operations. So basically, they're making it easier for these companies to ICO and decentralized applications, yada, 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 moving in the opposite direction. Remember what it was like a year and a half ago, where every month we were hearing new announcements of new lawsuits against crypto companies and stuff? What a breath of fresh air, right? Braveheart, Big Rob, another DC opportunity Wednesday. Let's go. Take some bromelain to break up the gunk. Best to take it at night while sleeping. There you go. Nice. All right, guys. So let's go back over to the Bitcoin chart. What is happening over there? Bitcoin tried to make a move, tried to break out while we were talking. Check this out, guys. The crypto future pump. We got all the way up to 114,300. We got to close outside this golden pocket. First step. The first step in moving up, we got to close above $114,000. Step number one. All right. So let's get there first. We've stayed above this here support, 112,536. Double bottom playing out. Very nice. Very nice. Candyman dropping that cheddar. Yeah, again, super chats have been very sparse lately. Yesterday and today. Holy smokes. Thank you so much, Candyman. What's the hardest part of your job, Rob? Stopping myself from answering sarcastically to ridiculous questions so I don't lose followers. It can be hard sometimes. If you could just grab people and shake them sometimes, you probably would, right? All right, guys. That's it for me. I got some Patreon content I got to make. Keep an eye out over there, guys. I have a couple more videos coming out this afternoon and this morning over on the Patreon. So get over there, guys. We will be live later today. We'll probably be looking at some swing trades over on the Swing Trade channel and so much more, guys. Dropped a new small gem yesterday as well. Don't miss out on that. Join us, myself, and thousands of other members over on the Patreon today, guys. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. The link is down in the description. It's in the pinned comments. Check it out today, my friends. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.